itself is that you can use so many more parts of things. Now, as you probably know, in Ireland at the moment, 30% of all the, we're told from the research that they did, the survey they did, 30% of all the food we buy is thrown in the bin. Okay, it's thrown out. And when I was a child, waste was absolutely just not acceptable. You finished what was on your plate, you didn't throw things out. Mommy would have had a jiffy fit if she saw us wasting, and we were all the time drummed into us that waste was unlucky and all of that. But in the last number of 25, 30 years or whatever, waste has gradually become a way of life, particularly during Celtic Tiger era. It's completely acceptable. People don't think, they're not ashamed of throwing things out, they're not ashamed of wasting. It's just become a way of life. And so much of the food that farmers grow and so on, I mean, as farmers, if you're supplying the supermarkets particularly, you'd be very lucky if 50% of your crop was actually bought. I'd be very lucky, and it might be as little as 30%. The rest is either discarded, or if you're lucky, it might be plowed back into the land at least to actually make the land a bit more fertile. But there'd be no question of getting 100% of it thing. And something that started off as a really good idea, really I suppose in many ways, was the best before dates and the sell-by dates on food. Has actually, in fact, in some ways, it's actually served to disempower us and de-skill us, in fact, because again, being of my age, and I'm surely the only person in the room who remembers life before electricity. I was about one other person. I was about 9 when electricity came to our village. Before electricity, there were no fridges or freezers, okay? So we survived, okay? Nowadays, there's such a paranoia around food hygiene and food safety. People are scared of food. I mean, what's going on? But anyway, so basically, when there were no fridges or freezers and in that situation, you had to be able to judge using your common sense or your senses when something was safe to eat. You had to look at it, smell it. If you could hear it, it was time to be with it, all right, and so on, and taste it. And now, a lot of the time, many people, not just younger people, but even older people, look at the packet, and if it's on the sell-by date or over it, or even coming up to it sometimes, straight into the bin. And most people don't have pens. We used to have your pens that come back as eggs a few days later, and the pens are a brilliant thing to have as well. So now, the reason why I went into that big long spiel is because this is beetroot. As you can see, it's lovely fresh beetroot. Now, if you are buying beetroot, you would probably just get much bigger one than that. The little small ones are really sweet and wonderful. And you would cook this, and you might pickle it or whatever. All of this is thrown out. And we grow these. We, of course, use the beets, and we use them from this size onwards. And then we take off the leaves, and we cook the leaves like spinach, or put them into a green salad, and they're absolutely delicious when they're lovely fresh. And then we take the stalks, absolutely delicious. So out of one vegetable, supposedly one vegetable, we have 3 vegetables. We have wonderful greens, wonderful stalks, and also the beets. And in case you think that I'm going over the top with being thrifty and so on, if you go to St. John in London, one of the hottest restaurants in London, or tomorrow, you will also get spinach stalks or beet stalks. This kind of food now, a lot of the chefs are rediscovering again and delighted to be able to get. So this kind of thing is the hottest thing you can imagine, but also full of goodness. Mostly it's thrown in the bin. Okay, so it's another reason why we all need to discover the joy of cooking. And not just cooking, but gardening there. Okay, so that's in the oven anyway, isn't it? It's going to take about 45 minutes before that's out.